Hello there, one and all, and welcome to episode 447 of Love at First Scent with me, Persolaise, live on YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in, whether you're watching live or you are watching the recording. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do consider doing so. If you do subscribe, make sure you click on the little bell so that you get notifications of new videos. And if you would like to find out how you can support my work, you should be able to see a link to my Ko-fi page in the video description below. First comment goes to Mache, who says, oh, sorry, this is me struggling with technology. Mache, who says, not this again. Rude. Konstantin says, it was lovely to catch you live today with the paddock video. Now I'm curious about the full series of Love at First Scent today. Then you should go back and watch them. Right. Regular viewers will know that we are having some technological issues, which is why I need to be kind of monitoring what's going on the tablet here. Raucous Retread says, I've not even opened my box yet. I will open it with you. Okay, go off and get it, because this is the box that we're talking about. You may remember, regular viewers, a few weeks ago, I talked about this UK-based brand called Ffern. And I won't go into the details of how they operate again, because if you just search for my Ffern video, you will be able to find out about it. But essentially, what they do is that they release a new perfume 4 times a year at the different, the different sort of equinoxi. Sorry, there's an equinox and a solstice, right? So summer solstice, autumn equinox, winter solstice, spring equinox. And so, for instance, we've just now got spring 2024, which is what I'm going to share with you. It may be a slight tweak of spring 2023. It may be completely different. They don't really let us know from one season to the next, but they are made in limited editions. Yada, yada, yada. Like I said, I won't go into it all. There's this whole thing where you have to sign up to a kind of membership list that they call the Ledger before you get these scents, etc., etc. Gavin says, I tried the winter one in the shop in Soho. Sorry, it was terrible. The back end of an apothecarist's drawer. Is it apothecarists or apothecaries drawer? Anyway, they don't ship to Denmark. Boohoo, says Noah Christensen. And Helter Skelter Jones says, will you be reviewing the new Guerlain Parfum today? No, because I haven't tried them yet. I really, really hope I will be able to soon. Anyway, let's talk about spring 2024. The brand are kind of proud of the fact, pleased with the fact that it's a rhubarb scent. Roshan says, my first live. You are very, very welcome. Maybe I need to do it on different days of the week sometimes, and not always just stick to Saturdays and Sundays. I've just seen your comment, Mache. So let us have a spray. We have a pre-sprayed blotter as well. Mache and Noah, you have your private conversation now. I like a rhubarb scent, says Gavin. Ah, see, there you go. Do not judge too quickly, my friend. Okay. I think my thing with Ffern, and I think I said this in the video where I talked about where I did the showcase, where I talked about them, as a whole, is that certain types of all natural perfumes, which these are, do end up smelling like variations on the same theme. And so I smell this and I think, here we go. Here's that kind of herbal, lush, verdant landscape that seems to be in the background of so many Ffern scents. And at the top of it, you do get something that is brightly crimsony, rhubarby. So it's kind of tart, vegetal, sweet, almost with a hint of something kind of pomegranate-y to it. With citruses in there as well, some kind of rose note lifting it up. See, the thing is, I don't want to, when I'm kind of presenting these videos to you as a critic, I need to try and achieve a certain amount of objectivity. It isn't possible to be 100% objective, but you also shouldn't give up on trying to aim for some sort of objectivity. I mean, you know, I think actually the best criticism is a combination of transparent subjectivity and as much objectivity as you can muster. And where I'm going with that is that these are not scents that I would personally be drawn to wearing. They are scents that I might like to spritz once in a while if I just want a kind of burst of naturalness, a burst of a kind of pleasant smell to give me a sort of, you know, perfumery equivalent of a pick-me-up. But where my objective side of my brain then kicks in and is to say that there is a place for these sorts of scents. And I think it is the place that has been unfairly and unjustly hijacked by Jo Malone. I said this in the showcase video. This is what Jo Malone should be. Jo Malone should be convincingly natural, which these are. Jo Malone should be convincingly like some kind of, you know, 1970s herbal shampoo advert with, you know, waifs of both genders looking kind of pale and interesting and frolicking in the straw. You know, this is that kind of aesthetic. And it's the kind of aesthetic that I think Jo Malone usually aspires to and usually fails to attain. It's totally convincingly natural, and you do get the complexity of a lot of the naturals coming through. But I guess their whole thing is that they don't want to be overly grand. They don't want to be overly ambery. They don't want to be overly challenging. They don't want to be overly complex. So if I think of, for example, some of the all-natural creations made by Mandy Aftel, hers can be baroque and intricate, frightening, intimidating. That's not the Ffern aesthetic, and it's, I think, commendable, and it is to their credit that they do stick to a particular aesthetic, and they do it well. Every single scent comes with an artwork, and I will share this one with you, and hopefully I will be able to credit the artist. If not, I will. So there you go. You get this leaflet that unfolds and gives you this very, very attractive image, I think. We've actually got a vase that looks very much like that. There you go. This is Rhubarb Still Life by artist Anna, is it Higgy? I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And what can I tell you about it? I don't propose to read the whole thing to you. What do they say? In sheds and under cloches, closed off from the light and frost, something very special grows from midwinter into early spring. Bright pink, sour sweet, forced rhubarb, delicate and fine. We have long wanted to bottle this harvest, but rhubarb is one of those plants which has no fragrant oil to extract. So in trying to replicate its scent, we needed to create a new accord that would blend with our light springtime palette of citrus, florals, and spices. Together with Elodie Durande, their perfumer, our nose, we considered rhubarb's aspects. First, its tartness, that sour zing that is so distinctive. For this, we looked to citruses, bitter orange, bergamot, and grapefruit. Bergamot's florality and the orange's bitter edge took us part of the way there, but it was grapefruit's herbaceous acidity that touched on the acute sharpness we were looking for. And yeah, I agree that there is that sort of hint of grapefruit in there. Onto our citrus, we layered timot pepper, a bright note that fizzes and sparkles, and a touch of clean, fruity. Now, what is this? Is it buchu? Buchu? I have no idea what that is. Somebody will tell me in a moment, I'm sure. But rhubarb is also sweet. And this is the more pronounced, enforced varieties, inseparable from thoughts of crumbles and tarts, sugar crystals clinging to pink stems. For this, we used Davana, a fragrant herb with an elusive scent, said to smell completely different on each person who wears it, but always with a syrupy, jam-like tone, just what we needed. And finally, we came to the earth in which the rhubarb is grown. Here we reached for ginger for its dry spice and paired it with pencil-like red cedar. The finishing touch was our beautiful Haitian vetiver, with the addition of a new form of the oil. This season, we fractionated our vetiver, separating the oil into parts. This allows us to remove those facets that are less beautiful, leaving a pure scent reminiscent of the first green shoots of spring. And if you are on the ledger with this particular perfume, you also get a sachet of Victoria rhubarb seeds. They always give you a little something, tea bags, in this case, seeds, a traditional variety grown since 1837 with a high yield and excellent flavor. So, as I say, there is a space for this sort of perfume. I don't know if the kinds of people, I mean, the gingery aspect is coming out really, really very, very charmingly here. I don't know if it's the kind of space that is of interest to most of the people that watch this channel, but a lot of people watch this channel, thousands of people watch these videos, and I can't imagine that you all have exactly the same tastes. And so somebody will find this interesting. And as I say, if you have maybe come here because you've been searching for something to do with Jo Malone, check this out. If you've come here because you've been searching for Guerlain's Aqua Allegorias, check this out. It's in that kind of vein. I do have a pre-sprayed blotter. Now, these scents, their lasting power is all right. They don't load them with loads and loads of heavy naturals just to make them more long-lasting. But I'm smelling this, which was sprayed several hours ago, and that gentle kind of cedary floralcy is still there, but it has to be said that that distinctive identity, that gingery rhubarby identity, is not there in the final dry down. That fades away. Yeah, so it is interesting. Gavin says, technically, I'm sure you can fractionate natural oils down to the molecule, which means you have everything for your palette except molecules that only exist synthetically. And yes, this is an interesting debate in all natural perfumery, because there are substances which are completely natural, and then there are the so-called natural isolates. And I know that Ffern try to minimize their use of isolates because they want to remain as purist as possible about the whole thing. But yes, Gavin, you're right. And also then, where do you go with the whole debate around taking a material that happens to exist in nature, but that you happen to have produced synthetically, even though it is chemically, molecularly identical to the one that you got from nature? I mean, those are the debates that we can say for another day, and maybe actually discuss with somebody like Mandy Aftel, if she would ever be so gracious as to do an interview on this channel. But there we are. Spring 2024 from Ffern. We will be back in a few moments with something, yeah, I think we can safely say something pretty different. But thank you very much for watching this one. See you in a bit. Bye now.